Hello all, this is Mr. Lucid LJ here, back with another wrestling commentary. Sorry about the video I uploaded the other day. It kind of fucked up the sound quality. I was trying to record it through a computer or whatever, and it just screwed up. But I'm back here with a proper wrestling video, and I'm gonna do something I did last year, and it's gonna be a WrestleMania 28 Dream Card. Now, WrestleMania is what, like 6 months away, and hopefully they'll start building it up in the next couple of months, and we'll have a good road to WrestleMania. Now, some of these matches I have on this list I think will happen. Others are just pure fantasy. But yeah, let's go ahead with this. So there'll be a pre-show battle royal. I haven't said who's going to be in it. Just all the regular jobbers are probably going to be in it. Now, I would start the show at 7 o'clock. The pre-show would start like 6:30 for the battle royal maybe, and then we start the proper show at 7 o'clock. Now, to open the show, I'm going to have the tag team champions who will still be the tag team champions. That's going to be Airboom, and they're going to be against Jack Swagger and Mark Henry. Now, how Swagger gets into this match? Him and Ziggler are teaming at the moment. They come close again to winning the tag team titles. Then basically what happens is they don't win the tag team titles, and they decide to part ways. But Swagger's pissed off at Dolph Ziggler. So basically they're going to have a little feud then for a few months, and then Swagger, I don't know who's going to, probably Ziggler will come out better winning that feud, and then Swagger just ends up on SmackDown somehow, maybe with Vicky Guerrero. Maybe Ziggler goes on his own, because he's going to be in a big match later on. So it's kind of random, but just something for the tag teams to do, and I didn't really have any other ideas for the other two. Swagger and Hnery get a line. Now, Hnery, it seems a bit shit that he was world champion, but he loses it to Sheamus at the Royal Rumble, and then he's not really doing too much for a while, so this is going to give him something to do. So, like an 8 to 10 minute match, there's not really too much storyline. It's kind of just a match to have on WrestleMania, and Swagger and Hnery will win the match. Next match will be a women's match, and it's going to be Beth Phoenix and Natalya facing off against each other. Now, there's some sort of a similar thing where there's some sort of jealousy between the two, that Beth Phoenix has been the champion for months and months and months. Natalya doesn't get a chance to be champion. They go on a dominating win, pretty much beat most divas in the division, and continue somewhat of a dominance that they've been doing at the moment, but I'd like to see more dominance between the two. So yeah, we have that match, a good 8 to 10 minute match, a simple storyline, and you put Natalya over and have her win the title. Now, a lot of this card is really trying to get people over, and hopefully set up a good year for 2012, hopefully. So, those two could have a few pay-per-view matches against each other. Natalya wins. Next match. Now, this match, I think, if Rey Mysterio wasn't injured, I think this match probably would have happened, and I really want to see it anyway, but it's a little bit low on the card. Maybe this could have been Rey Mysterio as one of his last matches, but Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara, I'm not exactly sure how you'd set the feud up, but I just know that I really want to see the match, because I know Rey Mysterio is still a legend, one of the best luchadors of all time, and Sin Cara is definitely one of these new guys who needs a good rub off a match like this, and a very good talent, one of the best wrestlers in WWE at the moment, probably top 5, top 10 kind of a guy. So don't know how you set the match up, but I just know this match has to happen. It doesn't have to be mask v mask. It could be Rey Mysterio's last match. I mean, a lot of these matches in this card could be people's last matches, but Rey Mysterio v Sin Cara will be an awesome match. Give it like 12 to 15 minutes. Make it like a really, really fast-paced match. Just a little bit spotty, but whatever. Sin Cara wins. You don't need to turn anyone heel. Just a nice, good match, and yeah, I think it would be one of the best matches on the show. Next match is just kind of like a filler kind of random match, but a lot of people seem to be having it on their dream WrestleMania cards. That's the Big Show v Kevin Nash. Now, I don't know how you set this one up. Maybe you could bring some WCW nostalgia back into it, but I think it'd be a decent match. Give both guys maybe one last rub at WrestleMania. I think Big Show's pretty much done anyway, so I won't mind if this was Big Show's last match. And same for Kevin Nash. Give him one last rub and give him, one last match or whatever. So 8 to 10 minutes, nothing too long. Doesn't really matter who goes over, but I've put written Big Show down, so should be a pretty okay match, I guess. Next match. This match is a little bit low on the card, and this also, I don't know if it's probably not going to happen, and this person probably not even going to be in the company at this stage because I think he's nearly done. It's John Morrison and Cody Rhodes. Now, I've talked about John Morrison before, and just the way he's getting treated at the moment, I'm just not really happy, as a lot of fans are. I think he's a good fucking wrestler, and he's getting treated like shit, and I think he needs to leave once his contract's up, because I wouldn't re-sign for this company and getting treated like shit. So, so this match. Now, this match, like Cody Rhodes, I don't know who he'd lose the title to, but he could still even be champion at this stage, maybe. But basically, John Morrison, if he does re-sign in November, build him up. Build him for 4 or 5 months. And build him for this match. This match would be a number one contendership match. Now, I know they're both on different shows. Now, the idea behind this match is like a cross-promotional kind of match where whoever wins gets a choice of the world title. Now, it's similar to kind of Money in the Bank, but some sort of a number one contender match at WrestleMania would be interesting to see. So, I'd like to see these guys have a good match. I've put 10 to 12 minutes. Maybe you can make it a little bit longer, but this will be a number one contendership match. I have put winner Cody Rhodes. Now, I'm not really too decided. Either way, it could go. This is only if John Morrison does stay in the company, then maybe give it to Morrison. But I don't know. It's tough to say. But I've put Cody Rhodes, but really, realistically, either one could win. I think it'd be a really good match to see on WrestleMania. Okay, the next match we've got is Christian and Edge. Now, you'd be thinking, how would this match happen? Well, I just felt like Edge and Del Rio being an opener at WrestleMania, and if that was Edge's last match, it's not a great way to go out. And you could have Christian continue to be this arrogant prick heel and shit the way he's going at the moment. And, maybe they're in a Canada show and Edge comes out and says, I'm just sick of your complaining, and then kind of build up from there or something like that. But Edge would return on one of these shows, maybe a SmackDown. Even if it's not in Canada, he just returns and says, I'm sick of watching you week after week on TV complaining that you're not the world champion and blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not supposed to wrestle, but I just want to make you shut up and realise what you're doing and making yourself look like a jackass. So he challenges him to a match. Christian hesitates, accepts. He could build up with some attacks and shit like that. I think it'd be a good match. I really want to see this match because I wanted to see this match possibly at last year's WrestleMania. But I think it was a triple threat I put on my card. But no, I just want to see this match because I think these two had their last one-on-one match was like 10 years ago, and they're definitely improved then, and they're both at main event quality status, especially Christian. Like, Edge always got this rub that he was a main eventer and a better main eventer than Christian, but to be honest, I think Christian is equally as good, maybe even better than Edge. It's not like Matt and Jeff Hardy where there was a clear distinction, but I really want to see this match. I give it a good amount of time, 15 to 18 minutes, give it a good build, maybe start like in February and build it up to WrestleMania. I would have Christian go over. Now, I don't know, he could go over cheaply, perhaps. I don't know if they'd have some sort of a handshake after the match, or just keep Christian heel. Would you keep Christian heel? I'm not sure. Maybe turn him back to babyface, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit. Next match will be Chris Jericho coming back against Randy Orton. Now, I was thinking bringing back Jericho face, but I don't think it would work for this feud. I think he does need to come back as a heel. Because Randy Orton's still really over with the crowd, even though he should be, I think, a heel, perhaps. And maybe Jericho face. I don't know. But yeah, Jericho needs to come back as well for one last match. Because I just felt like we haven't seen him in a year, and we need some sort of resolution to why he was taken out. And if this was his final match, then let's give it to let's have it at WrestleMania, and a perfect opponent will be Randy Orton. They haven't really had a feud before, so this would be a good feud. Now it might only be one match, but I'm gonna make it a stipulation match and last man standing, because basically Chris Jericho was taken out by a punt, and whoever the better man is going to be the last person standing. Now people may not agree, but I'm gonna have Chris Jericho win his last match. I don't give a shit. It's one of his last matches. And, Randy Orton doesn't need to win at WrestleMania. Randy Orton wins enough anyway during the year. Won at last year's WrestleMania. Won the year before. Didn't win at 25. He doesn't need to win at 28. I think it'd be a really good feud. A really heated feud. Something Orton needs, I think. And Jericho will be a great opponent. They'd have a really good wrestling match too. And I give it like 20 to 25 minutes. So yeah, that's that for that match. Next match we would have. People might say it's a bit low on the card. It's 8th out of 12 because I'm gonna have 12 matches on this card, and that's gonna be Undertaker and Sting. Now people will be like, "What the fuck is this? Shit! I don't got fucking shit flying in my mouth." People will be like, "Why the fuck are you doing this match?" I mean, it seemed like they were teasing it last year, even though I think people got it totally wrong. It was just The Undertaker the whole time, but there was some amount of buzz behind, that there was going to be a potential match. Now, I think they should capitalise this year with it. I mean, what's Sting doing in, fucking TNA anyway? Now, even if his contract's not up or whatever, I think, if TNA got a percentage to let him do it, and Sting got a good payday, it'd be great just to see this match. It is legend v icon. The legend of the Undertaker streak v the icon of Sting. It's a match that a lot of people have dreamed about, and I think it will be a dream match. It's two big legendary people in the business of wrestling. WCW pretty much v WWE here. Now, don't know how you build it up exactly. Maybe similar to like Return of the Undertaker again, with some sort of similar promo package. But this time it is actually Sting. And people will be like, "Oh, it's just Undertaker returning again." But actually swerve them and actually make it Sting. I think that would be a really cool thing to do. So then they'll have them stare down and they're, not touch each other, stare down, and a few promos leading up to the pay-per-view. And I think it'd be a good match. 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to give it slightly less than previous Undertaker WrestleMania matches. Now, it might be a little bit more fast-paced. I'm going to probably try and do, a good few things in there. I don't want to go over the top with finishes like previous years. Make it more of a storytelling match than previous years. I think they've gone over the top with these like false finishes and fucking like crazy kickouts and stuff like that. So make it more of a storytelling match. This could be Sting's last match. He gets a paycheck, a good paycheck. He gets his name finally put into WWE, probably put him into the Hall of Fame. I think it would be a perfect way to end Sting's career, Undertaker's career. I mean, this WrestleMania is basically to, end people's careers, not in a bad way or anything, but just wrap up people's careers and, try and plan for the future, even though, it's not looking great at the moment. We need more stars to be built up as well. So yeah, I'd look forward to the match. I think it'd be a pretty good match. I think you could get maybe a 3.5-star match maybe out of it, maybe a little bit more. It should be good. If Sting trained, I think for a couple of months, then, you know, he could get into good shape and actually have one of his better matches of recent years. So, okay, the next match, number 9, we've got CM Punk v Steve Austin. Now, people again will be like, what the fuck is this? Another crazy match, but I also feel like Steve Austin never got that one last WrestleMania match. He kind of did against The Rock in 2003, but I just want to see these two personalities clash against each other. Now, I was kind of thinking about this match and how I would build it up, and Punk would be, cutting some sort of a promo where he was like, I've faced a lot of people here, and there's always one person I wanted to face. Now, he'd be like, he's probably not my childhood hero or anything, but he's someone I always looked up to, and that would be Steve Austin. We've got similar sort of personalities. We're outspoken, we're a bit of a rebel, blah, blah, blah. And he makes a challenge, and then Austin probably eventually accepts, and I don't really want them to attack each other. This is not kind of that kind of a feud. It's kind of more of a respect feud between the two, and I think it'd be a good match. Maybe Austin appears on a few Raws and stuff, and maybe tease an attack. I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting match. A very I don't know, like a similar kind of a match between them. They're not similar wrestlers, but they're similar personalities in a way. Even though I think Austin's like a lot better than Punk, but I mean Punk's pretty good, and Punk could do with a rub like this in a match. Punk will go over, hits like a GTS on Austin. Austin probably hits a couple of stunners. Punk hits a few GTSs. I think it'd be a really good match to see. So the last 3 matches are 2 title matches, and obviously the main event that has to happen. Right, so number 10, we've got Sheamus against Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight title. Now, Sheamus basically gets a match against Hnery at the Royal Rumble. He beats Hnery for the title. He goes on. It's kind of shit that he's only going to hold the title for a couple of months, but I think Daniel Bryan needs to win the title just to really elevate him to that next level. Now, I think it seems like, from what I'm looking at, that they've realised that Daniel Bryan can't be on a losing streak anymore. So basically, they're going to change that and, start showing him on TV more and start fucking having him win matches and shit like that. So it seems like that from watching a little bit of SmackDown where he had a match against Tyson Kidd. Reckon he'll have a few more matches now, a few more pay-per-view matches, and then really build him up from now till Mania. I'm hoping, touch wood. So yeah, this match should be really good, and it's justice because we didn't get to see this fucking match last year at WrestleMania. So I have no problem this match being third from the top. Sheamus will look really strong. He'll look like a fighting champion. He'll lose. I don't know how I would do the finish. Would he tap out? I don't know. Don't really know if I want him to tap out. Maybe the elbows, maybe cattle mutilation, maybe, I really want to see a typical Ring of Honor type of Daniel Bryan match instead of a WWE type of match. I want it to be fast-paced, hard-hitting, and just a really good storytelling match. And I think Sheamus can bring it. I think Sheamus has really improved over the past year. I think he looks like a world champion. He looks like a wrestler. Unlike ECW, he didn't look like a wrestler. He did a couple of moves, but his moveset has got a lot better, and he's looking really good. He looks like a world champion. So I think Daniel Bryan does too. And just build both of these guys up, and we should see a really fucking good third from the top kind of main event match. So, right, the 11th match, which will be the semi-main event, will be Del Rio, who will still be champion at this stage. Now, people will be like, well, how come he's still champion? He'll have some matches, but I could see Del Rio defend against Triple H, maybe at Royal Rumble. I could see him defend in the Elimination Chamber. Some sort of a triple threat or fatal four-way at TLC. So I'm going to keep him strong. I'm going to keep him champion till Mania. I think it's a good idea. I think Del Rio needs a good title reign and beat a good few opponents over the way. and not just cheap ways, kind of good ways and shit like that. So, yeah. So Del Rio will be against The Miz, against Triple H, and against Dolph Ziggler. Now it might be 3 heels against 1, but I want The Miz to be involved. He's begging for a title shot, some sort of a storyline like that, whatever. Triple H and Del Rio have crossed paths in one title match. Triple H wants, probably one last title match at WrestleMania, whatever. And Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler will be the interesting one. He's going to be built up over the next 6 months, 5-6 months, to someone who will look like a world champion. Give him more time on the mic, promos, blah, blah, blah. Really build him up. So I'd look forward to seeing Del Rio in this match. Oh, sorry, not Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler in this match too. So it'd be like the first time since WrestleMania 16 since we've seen a fatal 4-way for the title. I think they should do them a little bit more often. It doesn't always have to be one-on-one title matches for WrestleMania. I think it should be sometimes either triple threats or fatal 4-ways. I think it's interesting to see, and I have no problem with it. I think it would get over each guy. Everyone will look strong. It's getting people on the card. The Miz and Truth could be still together. Truth could be, at ringside or whatever, and then Miz looks like he's gonna win. He does like Jimmy's finale on Triple H, and Ziggler comes in, and like a load of fun. This would be a match where I'd like to see 4 finishes in a fatal 4-way. I think it'd be really interesting to see. So, and 20 to 22 minutes will be a perfect time for this match. And Ziggler will win the title here, and I think I'll have him pin either possibly Del Rio or Triple H, to really get himself over. Not cheaply, but in a strong looking way. Alright, then the main event, of course. The main event has to be The Rock v John Cena. They've been building the match for 6 months now, and by the time WrestleMania it's going to be a year. So, yeah, we have to see this match as the main event. Don't know how they're going to build it. I have no idea. I have no ideas how I would like to build it, but I just would like to see this as the main event, because it is 2 icons against each other. But I must say, I'm going to do something different. Everyone's thinking that John Cena is going to win this match, but I don't think I'd have him win the match at all. I think I would have The Rock win. Now, people will be like, why are you going to have The Rock win? And now, I'm a big Rock fan, don't get me wrong, but the reason I'm going to have The Rock win is because I'm going to do something at the end of the match where I'm like, kind of shock the crowd, and something that people have been wanting for fucking years, and that's turning John Cena heel. I'm going to have this pay-per-view is definitely going to have blood on. I don't give a shit. I want to see some blood on this pay-per-view. I'm going to see some blood maybe in the Last Man Standing match and a couple other matches, but this match has to have blood. And John Cena is going to just go absolutely insane. He's going to think about shaking The Rock's hand after the match, but instead he goes absolutely berserk and just beats the living shit out of The Rock, and just beats him to a bloody pulp, and just rips his shirt off, throws his fucking bands and shit into the ring, and just walks away in just complete heel way. And I think that'd be a crazy way to end WrestleMania. I think it needs to happen, really. Cena needs to turn heel. But yeah, this pay-per-view, I would expect this pay-per-view to have a lot of wrestling. I would like to see really good video packages. I would like to see cool entrances. I'd like to see it all. And I think this pay-per-view should be hyped as one of the biggest WrestleManias of all time. You've got some of the biggest legends coming back. You've got some of the biggest superstars at the moment. You've got some of the biggest superstars, hopefully, for the future too, who hopefully will be built up right. So I think this will be one of the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And you know what? 4 hours isn't enough for wrestling. I think this show should start at like 7 p.m. American time and should finish 11:30 to nearly 12 o'clock. And I have no problem. I mean, I think this WrestleMania is worth staying there for 5 hours. Maybe they should do like Ring of Honor, have an intermission halfway in the show. I think that's a good idea, and then come back for the second half of the show. So like have an intermission like at the 2 hour mark or something, or whatever, and then come back for the second half, whatever. I think it's a good idea. So anyway, let you guys give me your thoughts. I've gone long because I've got the extra time now. I think I needed to do this video and just get my ideas out, because I always have pretty decent ideas, I think, for booking usually. So hopefully you guys like this video, and please comment, rate, and subscribe now that I got partnership. Briefly just talk about partnership. Fucking delighted I got partnership. Very happy. Just delighted. I've got the opportunity to make longer videos again, and really maybe start enjoying wrestling again, hopefully.